What do you think? You go for this one.
You go first.
Ladies first.
Our relationship.
Yeah, your relationship.
He's my partner.
Girlfriend and boyfriend, I'd have to say.
And I'm Dave, and this is my partner.
Nick, and we're just mates.
I'm James, and Jen's my friend.
It's like group therapy. And I concur.
And I'm Jen, and James is my friend.
The backseat driver, that's what I am.
Quite angry.
Yeah, I'm quite an angry chap, yeah.
Sometimes I've got it wrong.
She brings me cake, that's good.
It's all been my fault.
A slightly different shape to me.
He's like the king of excuses.
She's moral support.
I can't climb it all on my own. I always need somebody there just to bounce off.
Having someone confident just to like say spot you or belay you, that just makes a whole lot of difference.
We used to really struggle climbing together because Alastair was so much better than I was. We're so often in that situation where one person's better than another one. I think if there wasn't, we wouldn't be together at all.
First time actually at a wall, there's just no way I'd have gone without a friend. And I don't know why, because I'll go into a pub on my own or a club on my own.
She keeps me pretty grounded in terms of, you know, climbing, and keeps me quite calm about it all.
Dave is physically more capable than I am.
Really?
Yes.
We can't climb the same things. You can go past what I can do.
But then
That's alright though. I know, but he gives me really good advice though. I've learnt a lot. James supports me, and I sit there and go, "Oh, you're really good, aren't you?" I can shout, but I'm not.
She can point holds out for me when I've missed them and when I can't see them and things. So it is useful.
With Lisa's height issue, obviously not short, but you know, climbing issue.
Often I end up climbing at places that perhaps don't offer much in the way of routes for easy grades, so it does tend to be a bit of like boys projecting stuff, and I become quite good at carrying a pad.
The other couples that we know of that climb together are just people from school who we've taken climbing. Generally it's the girlfriend's been dragged along and isn't too keen on being there. And the thing is, the boys are beginners too, and I think the boys expect themselves to be so much better than their partners, and when they find that actually they're not really, or they find that their partner's belaying them, they find that really quite hard.
He's really negative, ridiculously so, and all it takes sometimes is just to plant the seed that he can do it in his head. He thinks he can't get up it and he's negative, and he gets a bit kind of angry and frustrated, and that stops him being positive and going for stuff. And that I'm not the only person that would say that. I mean, I think a lot of your climbing buddies would agree with that.
Sometimes you go for a route a certain way and then I do it and I cannot even fathom how you started it. I said, "Oh, do an Egyptian foot," and you were like, "No, I'll just put it against the wall," and then I just went, "Oh, there we go."
This time it's girls versus boys.
That and then swap over and then perfect point. Is it V2?
Yeah. You still get maximum points if you
make it in there.
Yeah. Right.
Push off the right leg. Get your foot up here.
This is going to be 3 points.
I think it was quite interesting to see the opinion of all the girls and see that lots of them, well, some of them had never climbed with women before.
We tend to climb with a largely male-dominated group who climb quite hard grades. And, you know, you get drawn into that, like Nick says, projecting. And Nick does sometimes end up just sherpering the pads around all day.
Yeah, I do get intimidated. Because I guess I'm so used to I kind of climb either on my own or with James or with, say, one other person. Got quite comfortable in doing that. So then if you have like a big group, I feel really, really overwhelmed, and I won't climb at all. Especially if there's like loads of girls that are really, really good as well. I just go, "Oh God, I can't do this."
I think with the guys, I'm watching them do a certain route, it's been able to, you know, push me a little bit and show me that I can do things a little bit different.
The girls are more intuitive about the way another girl would climb. The different ways they were showing me to do things made it easier for me to think, actually, that way is possible, so I'm going to have a go at that. Whereas if Dave was to say, "Do it this way, this is how I do it," I would go, well, that's blatantly not possible, so sod off.
A couple of people that he climbs with that are mates that are guys that may be climbing a bit harder, you can't take the criticism. You might take it a bit more like, you might snap at them and go, oh yeah, all right then, or...
It's difficult taking beta from male friends who are probably at the time, you know, maybe going a little bit better than you.
Sometimes people don't accept help as much as you, as freely as you want to give it. And I think I've annoyed some people here.
I suppose it's down to the tone in which it's said. If they're screaming at you, well, maybe you might take more of an offence to it, but when you know that you're all in it together, yeah, I don't mind at all. I quite like that, actually.
If I watch somebody do a problem, sometimes I'll purposefully look away because I know that I want to do it myself and I want to work it out myself.
So you feel a compulsion to give them advice?
Yeah, I do.
Do you ever ask them whether they want advice before you do it?
No, of course not.
And I tend to just ignore it. I think, well, I can't do it the way they do it.
Some guys will climb
gung-ho.
just in a way that I just can't. I just won't ever be able to climb, and I wouldn't really want to, because that would mean I would be massive, and I don't want to be massive.
Hey friend, I thought I'd let you know how much you mean to me. I know that you've been hurting for a while. This life is tough, trying to be the things we wanna be, but you could change the world with just one smile. And all of my days that I've known you and your ways, I've seen the sun follow you. No need to get down when you've landed on the ground. All angels like yourself must take some time before they see your wings and let you fly. Before they see your wings and let you fly.
Climbing with a group of guys and climbing with a group of girls is different, even if the guys are climbing at the same level as you.
If I was climbing with a lad who just like managed to pull himself through a tricky move, I would have to look at that and think, oh, how do I do that?
Just having other people who can climb harder than you, they can at least give you a bit of beta, some points on it, because you feel a bit more driven to sort of try and catch up with other people.
You need to see someone who's the same height, similar strengths, and you can just see them do it and you go, oh, and it just clicks in your head and you can do it. And often you can't get that thing that clicks by watching some guys who can just lock everything out and just go, and they can't put themselves into a situation. They have to say to them, pretend you're small, pretend you're short, pretend you can't crimp that hole, and see if there's a way of me being able to do it, and they just can't do it. So there comes a point where you just like walk away and that's it.
Pushing them, you don't want to push them too much because you're going to knock their confidence.
It depends how well you know someone. You just push them a little bit more the more you know them.
If you get to know that someone is very competitive and really wants to push themselves forwards, then you'll actually accommodate your own encouragement towards that, and if you know someone will want to go, then you'll actually say, yeah, come on, go for it.
If I was climbing with a girl and she managed to do the tricky move, I would probably have to do it in a similar way to her. So then there is that edge of competition there.
We explained it in a different way than a guy would explain that. They would just power through that, and we were like, no, keep your hips in. This is the way to try and make it slightly easier for you, but a guy would not give you that same explanation.
I'll scream blue murder at them. If I know they can do it, and they're not trying the hardest, then regardless of the gender, they're going to get the same torrent of abuse or encouragement, call it what you will.
My boyfriend is like 195 and he says, come on, just go there, and he's like, they say things and I'm like, yeah, smiling, but he's like, whatever, I mean,
it's just when you first meet the female climbers and you're first trying to encourage them, that's when you sort of just hold back a bit. You don't want to insult everybody the first time you meet them. You got to hold back on telling them to strap on a pair.
We climbed together within our little group because we're similar levels and we encourage each other. So I've noticed if Maria's doing something, I'll go, oh, I'm going to do that.
And I'm the same. We didn't say that before.
No, we didn't.
You just got to be a bit more gentle rather than, you know, you can't just say, go for it, you might want to word, yeah, you're just going to word it differently, aren't you?
Do you think that they prefer that?
I think they do, but they might not.
Have you asked them?
No.
When you climbed that roof there, and so did Nick, I thought, I really want to do this just because you and Nick had done it. Like, I wanted to show myself that I could do just as well as you and get to the top of it, and that's what I did.
If you guys doing it first, would you have had the same attitude?
I'm not sure I would actually.
How does your relationship change when you're climbing?
I don't even know how to explain it. We don't climb very well together, really.
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
So if you don't climb well together, why is that?
I think we take it out on each other sometimes.
I think as well because we're both coaches. I think we probably try and coach each other a lot when we really don't want to. And the other person doesn't need coaching. They just need to be left alone for a little while.
Yeah.
Because it's just a natural thing to do. Yeah. Like you're just like, oh, could you put your foot there? And it's like, no, I will not put my foot there. And then often they'll do it and it'll work.
Sometimes.
Like before. We climbed a lot better before we were going out together.
Yeah.
So I think we were really competitive with each other, but we did listen to what each other said, I think, more. Like...
Which is really strange because it should be the other way around, shouldn't it really?
When I climb with people who are at my level or better. Like like James, but I'm quite a competitive person. That's why we both compete. But then in sessions, like you wouldn't want to compete with me. I'm like, but I kind of still do in a way. So say if like James did something, I'd be like, oh, I really want to do it now. Or if he did something I couldn't do, I'd be like, I'd feel really annoyed, but like it wouldn't be at James, it'd just be generally at myself. But you always think it's at you.
I often think that it's at me. I'm the one at fault.
But he's not. Why don't tell him that?
You don't tell him that. So James, I'm going to ask you a reasonably tricky question. You're a boy. You sometimes get beaten by a girl. Do you think that Shauna being a girl has any impact on sort of how annoyed you might get if she does something before you do?
I think it used to. I think I've learnt to deal with it.
Is there any advice you can give other lads out there when they get their asses kicked?
Take it.
Take it?
What else can you do? Like, you know, often if I give a piece of advice, because it's me, you'll automatically say no, you know, before you've even perhaps thought about it a tad or tried it, you'll often just, and I think I do it as well. Yeah, you know, just shun it straight away when it could actually be possible.
I can't remember the last time he gave me advice.
Well, that's the thing. I don't give it anymore. I don't really think we take it on board.
You do sometimes.
Both of you have the unique opportunity actually to climb with another really elite climber. So on paper, that's a really, really good climbing relationship and a really good climbing opportunity. And it seems almost a bit of a waste that you guys don't benefit from that relationship like all your students do. You're both coaches. Yeah. And yet you don't seem to be able to coach each other at all.
No. You know, you think your advice is better than mine, and I think my advice is...
I don't think that.
No.
I think that if you're giving advice, it's advice that's not like guaranteed to change your climbing in any way.
It's a reasonably unique situation for a male and female climbing partnership to be so closely matched.
Yeah, that's what we were saying before when we went to do round 3. It was like, oh, we can just go on the same problems because we can work on the same problems and we're about the kind of same level.
Interestingly enough, I can tell you now that you won the chocolate prize, but you won it only by 1 point.
No.
And the people that came second, of which there were 2 couples, are both couples whose abilities were almost identical. And the people that fell way behind were the ones who there was the biggest gaps in their ability.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. To be honest, I think we are learning and we're slowly getting better at it.
We just tried really hard to climb together because it'd make sense and we both get better from doing it. So.
Yeah. I think we know that climbing with each other would benefit us. Like, I'd learn a lot of technique. You'd probably... I think I'd learn from it, but...
I think we trust each other.
More trust in the people with more experience.
I mean, Shauna's one of the best people you can watch.
I'm so used to being told.
You give me confidence on trad because it's a bit scary.
You know, you get left on your own and you're like...
Just have someone to be like, no, you're not going to go anywhere or you're not going to fall.
You felt like you wanted to do well for the group.
I think that's quite important.
I just tend to think your advice is better.
I want to be doing more and more.
We paddle kayaks.
Whether it be skiing,
paragliding,
mountain climbing.
It's about being out there and enjoying what we do.
And get the same kind of buzz from it.
Just people who are keen about climbing.
Tackle whatever we want.
All of my days that I've known you and your ways, I've seen the sun follow you. No need to get down when you've landed on the ground. All angels like yourself must take some time before they see your wings in the tube.